Hello and welcome to the Father and Son Formula One podcast. I'm the father, Graham Miller, and here's my son, Toby.
Hello.
And we're talking about the Monaco Grand Prix. I actually got it up now.
Mm-hmm.
We are talking about the Formula One Louis Vuitton Grand Prix de Monaco 2026.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
I mean, it's a
very Monaco brand, isn't it?
Yeah, a lot of the chat I've seen has actually been about Kim Kardashian.
It kind of is, but also, like, Lewis Hamilton, wasn't he dating Nicole Scherzinger for a while?
Yeah.
So it's not, like, crazy, necessarily.
No.
I think.
At one point, I think it was like the summer break or something, Lewis Hamilton went on holiday with Nicole Scherzinger in an original AC Cobra, like a proper 60s AC Cobra, not a replica.
Yeah.
And the holiday was starting in LA and driving north up the coast.
Yeah, it must have been pretty decent, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, that's like probably about half the male population's dream right there.
Yeah, and probably quite a good chunk of the female populations as well, to be honest.
Yeah. Although it might actually be terrifying with...
I probably would be terrified. If you're Nicole Scherzinger, you probably are terrified quite a lot of the time. Because Hamilton wouldn't be like, oh, I'm in an old relic, I've got to really, go at the exact speed limit through here. He'd be like, let's see what it can actually do.
And they are a big, heavy V8 in a tiny 60s.
Yeah,
it's like somebody got an MGB and just shoehorned a 6-litre V8 into it, basically.
Isn't that pretty much what they did? Because it was Carroll Shelby. Yeah, just a big Ford V8 in like an AC Ace, basically.
Yeah, and the AC cars before that were using like 1500cc Triumph engines.
Which is the British approach.
Yeah.
Yeah. Proper car.
Back on topic.
Yes.
I used to really not like the Monaco Grand Prix because it was a bit dull.
Yeah.
But I think I've said the last few seasons, certainly when we've been doing this, that you kind of got to appreciate it for what it is.
Yeah.
It is utterly insane.
Yes.
I mean, it's one of the tracks where you've got to be not exaggerating, but literally inch perfect.
Yeah. I mean, millimetre perfect at a certain point.
I was going to say, it actually comes down to less than an inch at some point.
Yeah.
And this was the, I believe, 83rd running.
Yeah, I mean, it is one of the, what is it called? The Triple Crown of motorsport.
Yeah. The first one was run in 1929.
Yes.
And
it precedes not just the Formula One World Championship, but Formula One as a whole.
Yeah. I think I showed your youngest brother Isaac a photo of a 1931 Monaco, and he was like, but isn't that just like a telegraph pole right beside the track? And
yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's okay, the journalists were behind hay bales.
Yeah, I was going to say, give it a couple of years and they put hay bales in front of the telegraph poles so that if you hit them, they would catch fire.
Yeah, it was the 83rd Grand Prix de Monaco.
Yeah. Which is... it's just mind-boggling, really.
Yeah. I saw... back in 2016, I think it was Hamilton during a qualifying session set the highest top speed ever at the Monaco circuit.
Yeah.
And it was, I think, like 302 kilometres an hour or something.
Which is around the 180 mark, isn't it?
Which, when you first think, you think, oh, that's not that fast. But then you actually look at Monaco and it is actually just a small road.
Yeah.
And you imagine going 180 miles an hour on actual city streets. And it is utter lunacy.
I mean, to be honest, most drivers would be terrified doing 180 down the autobahn.
Yeah.
I mean, the speed at which things will come at you. I can't remember, they said, who set the first sub 70-second lap ever?
God, I don't remember that.
We'll look it up in a minute. So yeah, it is just... I mean, it is what it is. And also, if you look, I looked up the track history.
Yeah.
And you look up places like Nürburgring, Silverstone, Spa, the historic tracks. But then you look up Monaco and it really hasn't changed.
Well, it can't change that much.
No.
There have been some changes.
I remember they put a chicane in after the tunnel.
Yeah, because that was a bit...
That was lunacy. They came out the tunnel at about 160, 170
Yeah.
in
And
the bright sunlight, and then they just had a long straight to keep accelerating, and it was like, really?
I
Just...
think it might be the only track on the calendar that has an indoor bit.
Yeah, I
Or a
looked
bit
up...
that's not actually outside, exposed to the elements. It would...
I looked up one of the favourite races, which was the 1984 Monaco,
Yeah.
and they delayed it by 45 minutes because of the heavy rain, and it took me a minute to get my head around this. Lauda went to the then head of, I think, the FIA, Bernie Ecclestone, who's very high up,
Yeah.
and he asked them to flood the tunnel.
Yeah.
And I was a bit like, what?
Because they can only run wet tyres.
Yeah, but it was also that they were tracking water off their tyres into the beginning of the tunnel, and the tunnel was dry but also oily with bits of rubber on it.
Yeah. So they needed to wash that away.
Well, they needed to have a consistent surface, not like...
Yeah.
So they
Would have
did, they
been
got a
a
fire
nightmare.
truck and flooded the tunnel.
Oh, wow. Is that where Bernie Ecclestone got his idea for sprinklers on the track, do you reckon?
Almost certainly. And also there's a new controversy.
Yeah.
You know the theory that Senna was shutting down Prost at, I think, seconds per lap in the
Yeah.
rain? And then they red flagged the race, and everybody was like, oh, the FIA is French, Prost is French. They didn't want this young upstart in a Tolman
Yeah. I
to
think
win the...
Senna actually overtook him, and they red flagged it on that lap,
Yeah.
which meant that it went back to the previous lap where Prost was ahead and he won,
But...
which is
the
quite
person-
blatant, really.
The person who called it was Jackie Ickx,
Oh.
who I think did it without consulting the stewards. He just went... I can't remember, I think it was like race director or something. He
Yeah.
just went, no, we're calling it. But Jackie Ickx raced an endurance car for Porsche. And Prost's car had a Porsche engine in it.
Oh, I see.
And actually, Jackie Ickx got removed from his position after doing that.
There's a bit sort of like...
Well, it's a lot.
It's almost a bit Abu Dhabi 2021, isn't it? Kind of fixing the race.
Well, it's like Abu Dhabi 2021 if Michael Massey worked for Red Bull.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's right. If he was like a Red Bull athlete.
Yeah. Or like if he was in a like different Red Bull series. It was like
Yeah.
that blatantly kind of.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that aspect of it. I always thought that, yeah, Prost is French.
FIA
Fédération
is French.
International Automobile, French. Also, Monaco is like surrounded by France, and it's a, you know,
Yeah, they all speak French there.
yeah.
Well, I think Leclerc can speak like 5 languages or something ridiculous.
So yeah, I mean, you've just got to kind of accept
It's-
Monaco for what it is.
I kind of see it almost as it's the qualifying event of the year.
Oh yeah,
It's the race. It's the race weekend where qualifying is actually more important than the race itself.
yeah.
In the sense that, not more important, but that's what you probably should watch.
And I mean, all the commentary and all the build-up were like, this is the most important qualifying hour of the season.
Yeah, because there was that one year where the top 10 were literally the same as they qualified.
Yeah, I think, was it 2024, 25, where there was a
One
big
of
red
those.
flag crash on lap 1?
Yeah, and they all changed their tyres and just cruised on hards to the
Yeah.
end.
But then everybody was trying to go slow to make the hards last to the end.
Recently it's become quite fun in terms of like weird strategy and holding people up, like the
Yeah.
Williams did.
Let's try and do this in order, shall we? We've been...
Well, I was sort of thinking there wasn't much to say about practice necessarily.
I was thinking the main thing to say about the practices was that they actually kind of foreshadowed the race.
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, let's be honest, George Russell was struggling all weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, I can accept what he said last weekend, last time out in Canada, that he was okay with the engine failure because he'd done everything he could to maximise his effort and to get the most out of the car, and he was literally wheel to wheel with Kimi Antonelli.
Yeah.
And he could look back on that weekend and go, well, I didn't do anything wrong. I did everything I could. But this weekend,
Yeah, he just wasn't as fast.
I mean, like, I've just looked at FP1. 2 Ferraris out front, Max and Kimi. And then,
half a second back.
yeah, those 4 cars were within half a second, and then it was literally another half second back to George.
And again, that was kind of... I think Leclerc had issues during qualifying,
Yeah, I think he had an accident in I had an accident in FP3, didn't
I don't remember, actually. I don't know if he crashed in FP3, because he ended up second.
Oh, maybe.
Did he crash trying to go for pole in Q3?
Oh, yeah, no, he definitely did. Well, he didn't crash, spin, carbon fibre all over the
He
racetrack.
just bonked into the...
He just snicked a wall, I think.
He did hit the wall to back, stopping his car at Rascasse.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's another thing to love about Monaco, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not like, oh yeah, he hit the wall at turn 11, or...
Every corner, yeah.
It's like, very evocative. It's like Spa.
Yeah, as opposed to kind of tracks like Miami, which are a bit like, oh, it's turn 6, turn 14, turn 11.
At least the Americans have stopped trying, in a way. I remember the first year at Miami, they kind of had fake marina and stuff, didn't they?
I was actually kind of hoping that the Vegas street circuit, that really should have corner names. Because surely on every corner there's some massive casino that wants to put their name on it.
Actually, you know what they should do at Vegas? They should have, like they've got like pyramids in the Eiffel Tower and tacky stuff like that.
Yeah.
They should have like, a nod to Spa or a nod to Monaco or a nod to the Nürburgring all the way around it.
I'm trying to think what are some famous bits of track, but some like off-track architecture they could use, but I can't think of anything.
No, you're right. Maybe that's why they didn't.
Anyway.
So, qualifying Q1.
Yes.
There weren't really any big surprises. 2 Aston Martins at the back.
Yeah. I think I was saying last time that I thought I wanted to see how the Ferrari-powered cars did.
Yeah.
Because Ferraris have smaller turbos.
Yeah.
So theoretically they should get the power on a bit faster, less turbo lag.
Yeah, and they're not too hampered by the top-end power.
Unfortunately, the 4 Ferrari-powered cars that weren't Ferraris were at the back of the grid apart from Aston Martin.
Yeah. Is it Cadillac have got Ferrari power?
Yeah. It's Haas and Cadillac, yeah.
What, 17, 18, 19 and 20 all dropped out in Q1?
Yeah, although to be fair, the Cadillac are actually there with the Haas now.
Yeah, I mean,
Perez especially.
They're making huge progress.
I mean, they've caught up to Haas, whether that's Haas falling off or... But I don't know, because they're not even that far away from Audi or the Racing Bulls. If you look at the Q1 times...
No, they are.
Perez did a 1:14.7, and then, Colapinto did a 14.5, and Lindblad a 14.6. That's not awful.
Where was Lawson? Oh, Lawson was good, a 14.5, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, yeah, it's... Then you look at the Aston Martins who are in the 15s and 16s.
You've got to... I look at that, and you know what I think?
What?
I think, how much damage did Red Bull...
I mean, you could say that about anyone. Because look at Gasly's kind of in charge of Alpine now.
Yeah.
Albon. Even Lawson's actually found something back at Racing Bulls.
But also, you look at the fact that Bottas was actually in a good team. I mean, he was kind of in a good team in Mercedes, but, you got the kind of Valtteri, it's Toto kind of.
Yeah.
That's what you dread hearing when you're out in front of Lewis Hamilton, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think Bottas has actually said his mental health suffered being a designated number 2 driver.
Yes.
He would turn up to a racetrack and think, I'm not here to win.
Yeah, but he did win sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's almost something that Perez and Bottas can kind of have in common.
Yeah. But yeah, you're right. I mean, I'm very impressed by... I mean, Cadillac are in the 6th race as an entire team.
Yeah. And they're mixing it with the back end of the field.
Whereas McLaren are in race 1000 as a team.
Yeah, although technically they've only got like 998 starts because they had like that double DNS in China at least.
Oh yeah.
So that didn't count as a start.
Yeah.
They say 1,000 races, but there's a difference between starts and entries.
I mean, they've loaded the trucks and they've shown up to 1,000.
Well, actually, okay, do you know what it is?
What?
They've entered 1,004 races.
Yeah.
They've started 999.
Yeah.
At the start of the year, they did the maths and went, oh, look, Monaco's our 1,000th start. And then they double DNS'd in China and it messed up the maths, but they just went for it anyway because they don't care.
Also, because they probably had all the special livery and everything plotted.
Yeah, they had everything planned out, so they were like, we could just sweep that under the rug and pretend.
It's
quite funny, their 1,000th start is actually going to be in Spain.
Yeah.
Not quite as romantic, but...
I'm now seeing that meme in my head of the little emoji with the glasses and the finger up going, Actually,
it's only your 999th start.
And you've entered 1,004 races, so...
That is exactly how I get about Formula 1, though.
Yeah.
Because it's all very specific and laid out in the rules.
So what was their 1,000th entry? That must have been Australia. My brain.
I don't know if it's counting sprints or not. I guess, no, it's a whole weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, showing up to a weekend with the trucks loaded and that.
So Canada was 1,003. Miami was 2. Japan was 1, so it was China.
Again, that's not very romantic.
But they also, that was the one that they double DNS'd, so they probably didn't want to draw too much attention to it.
What happened in...
Q2? Talking about? Getting massively off topic.
Why does it look like... Did Bortoleto not come out in Q2?
I don't know.
I think Gabby Bortoleto crashed at the end of Q1.
I'm switching over to the report.
I think Gabby Bortoleto crashed at the end of Q1.
Yes, Bortoleto brings out red flags.
Yeah.
He
then
did.
He couldn't, and then because he had to abandon the car on track, he wasn't allowed to start in Q2.
Yeah, also, it would have been broken. But it's one of those situations where he got through to Q2, but couldn't take part in it.
Yeah. So I was just looking at it, and I suddenly realised 7 had gone out in... It looks like from the timing screen, 7 went out in 1 and 5 in 2.
Yeah. Or at least there were only 5 people who set a lap in Q2.
Yeah, they set a time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Racing Bulls. Let's talk about Racing Bulls, because they got Lindblad up into Q2 and Lawson up into Q1.
Q3.
I always think Q1 should be the most important one.
Because like P1.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's the order in which it happens. It's like FP1, FP2, FP3.
Oh, I know. That's
Q1,
why
Q2,
my brain
Q3.
goes Q1.
Yeah, fair enough.
They got Lawson up into the top 10 shootout.
Yeah, that's better.
Covered it there.
Yeah, very commentator-esque.
Yeah.
Both Williamses were like 11th and 12th.
Yeah, I think they were really massively disappointed with that.
But they have been worse than that, though, so that's kind of an improvement.
But if you look, Gasly was 13.762 and Albon was 13.787.
Yeah, it was tight margins because this is such a short track. There's not really that much time to be gained. You just have to be better at driving in a way.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, it's
like
the legendary track of people like. I think Senna's got most of the records around it, hasn't he?
Yeah, most wins, like 6 wins and 8 podiums.
Yeah.
Hamilton's now got 9 podiums?
No, 8. He's drawn equal.
He's drawn, yeah, 8 podiums.
But I mean, it is ultimate driver's kind of track, isn't it? That's the only way you can really optimise it.
Yeah, because there's no big long straights for the deployment maps to be optimal.
Oh, I mean, it's not Formula 1 anymore, is it?
Well, people were probably saying that in 2014 when the hybrids first came in.
Mm.
And I think they were probably even saying that in like the 80s when they started having turbos and ground effect. There were probably people in flat caps and tweed jackets going, it's not like it was in the 50s.
Well, yeah.
Where you had to just, get it sideways and keep your foot in.
Yeah, they're talking about how much turbo they can spin up and how many horsepower they can deploy down the straights.
Yeah, qualifying engines and paddle shifting gearboxes. It's not proper F1 anymore.
Yeah.
I even think back in the 50s with the World Championship, there were people who were like, I wish it was back like it was in the 20s.
Yeah. I saw Who did they have on the grid? I think they had Hakkinen and Coulthard driving historic McLarens around.
Yeah, they actually took a picture, McLaren did, with all the McLaren race winners that were there, including Alonso and Hamilton.
Oh, wow.
And actually, I think I've just realised they might have been on complete opposite ends of the picture from each other, which is quite funny.
Yeah,
Let's see if I can find it, actually.
I did see also a short video of, I think it was Hakkinen in one of the very early McLarens, you know, the ones with the rear engine where the exhausts come straight up and out?
Yeah.
And it fires up, and you actually see Norris flinch because it just kind of fires up with such a crackly, no silencers.
Yeah.
And then he kind of puts his hands over his ears as they just give it the beans and pull out of the pit.
I did see that. It was pretty cool.
And I think it was Hakkinen was driving it. And when he came in, he said, "There are no seat belts. I forgot that, because you just go into the first corner and you slide around in your seat."
Oh my god, that's actually terrifying.
But they're so used to being pinned and, you know, no lateral movement when they go through corners.
Yeah, even Hakkinen, because he was racing in the 90s.
Yeah.
Well, I got the picture. Yeah, so it's David Coulthard on the left. Someone I don't recognise, but I probably should know. Alonso, Hakkinen, Piastri, senior team management. Norris, I think Juan Pablo Montoya's there, John Watson, some other people, and Hamilton right on the far right in his Ferrari gear. And they've got Norris's modern McLaren and the old one that Hakkinen was driving, which isn't even orange, it's like white and green.
Yeah, send it over to me on WhatsApp. I'll have a look at it as well.
I think it's Fittipaldi and Gerhard Berger. Oh, and that's Heikki Kovalainen.
Oh yeah, Kovalainen.
Yeah. I
Now,
don't know if I can save this.
I think for Q3, my brain just keeps saying Q1 to me now. I think Q3 at Monaco.
Yeah.
Last 5 minutes where they're all going for their glory runs.
Yeah.
That is why I watch Formula 1, to be honest.
It is kind of peak.
Yeah.
Especially qualifying.
Because Leclerc binned it.
Yeah.
And I think Hamilton was fastest at one point.
I don't know if he ever actually had provisional pole.
I'm sure he was on pole, and then he got pipped by Verstappen, and then Antonelli came over the line and pipped both of them. I'm sure that's how it happened, and it was just like, oh my... It was so kind of...
Also, I think second race weekend in a row that Hamilton has just comprehensively been faster than Leclerc.
Right, let's talk about that now, because it comes up in the race as well. What has happened, and this has been fairly well confirmed, it's not clickbait.
Yes.
At the Japan race, and this is what we were talking about last podcast, about how Hamilton has to rebuild the team in his image.
Yes, I think, yeah.
At Japan, Hamilton won and he won his battle with Ferrari, rather.
Yeah.
And he got them to fit Carbon Industries discs and pads to his car for the brakes.
I was going to talk about this as well, because it's kind of actually pretty interesting stuff.
Well, it is, because Brembo have been the official supplier since 1975 to all of Formula 1. So it's a hybrid. It's a kind of... It's a mixed system. It's got Brembo calipers, because I think that's pretty much... They can't shift away from that. But the pads and discs, which actually affect braking feel, he's now persuaded them to switch to Carbon Industries.
I think it's Brembo cylinders and pipes as well, hoses. It's Brembo systems.
Yeah, I had this argument with your brother, actually, because...
Yeah, he knows more about brakes than me.
I was talking about the cylinders on the Volvo, and he said, no, it doesn't have cylinders, because it's not on drum brakes, it's got all-round discs. So, on disc brakes, you have what I would think of as a cylinder that pushes the shoes out on a drum brake.
Yeah.
But they're built into the caliper.
Right, okay, I see.
So the calipers are Brembo. But the difference it makes is Hamilton's driven his whole Formula 1 career up until last year for Mercedes-powered cars.
Yep.
And they use Carbon Industries, or Industrie Carbon, because they're French.
I think actually I read an article.
Yeah.
I actually read an article from 2015.
Yeah.
where it talked about how both Rosberg and Hamilton were swapping back and forth between CI and Brembos, and how they were trying to get the best feel. And I think there was a time where Hamilton actually favoured Brembo, but then swapped back because Rosberg was on Carbon Industries. And I think, yeah, obviously it was that rivalry that kind of...
Yeah.
Because most drivers would go, oh, these are Brembo brakes, whatever. But at that time, that's probably when Hamilton was like, how can I extract, and Rosberg, how can I extract every millisecond out of this car? Let's think about even, the supplier of the brake discs.
Well, what they said, the articles I've read said that what Hamilton likes to do is he stamps on the brakes at corner entry.
Yeah.
And they bite really hard, and as they put it, they stand the car on its nose.
Yeah.
And he then can kind of... trail braking, that's what it's called. For, like, rookie drivers, you're taught to brake in a straight line and power through the corner.
Yeah.
But that's actually not the fastest way to get through a corner. You can actually what's called trail braking. So as you go in, you gradually ease off the brakes. So you're still braking when you're halfway around the corner, and then you boot it out.
Yeah, to avoid lockups and stuff.
Yeah. But that's Hamilton's preferred style.
Yeah.
And Carbon Industries give that to him. They give that initial sharp bite. But
yeah,
the Brembo brakes don't. They tend to come in a bit more. I mean, we're talking microseconds here, probably.
Yeah, but that is also what makes the difference.
But yeah, they tend to come in fairly... they come in more progressively on that initial bite.
Yeah.
So they don't just kind of go, lock up, go. So yeah, he changed in Japan. He wasn't actually... did he have a problem towards the final stint in Japan? I've got a feeling he did.
I don't remember, to be honest.
I've got a feeling. But then, Miami, Canada and Monaco, he was consistently faster than Leclerc.
Yeah, because Miami, Leclerc was 8th and Hamilton finished 6th.
Yeah.
Actually, you're right. Since then, he's beaten Leclerc every race.
Yep.
What about... not the Miami sprint or the Canada sprint, but in the actual races.
Yeah.
I mean, he's gone from being like 6th and 4th to 2nd.
Yeah.
And now, obviously, Leclerc, he was complaining about the brakes all weekend and how they weren't working for him because he was still on Brembos.
Yeah, and that's caused a huge upset. Obviously, Brembo are not happy.
No, because they've got like a special relationship with Ferrari.
Well, they've been doing it for over 50 years, and they're both Italian companies.
Well, I think also pretty much any... I saw a thing that said pretty much any car that you see out and about on the road with red brake calipers, 90% chance they're Brembos.
And also, it's not just that, it's motorsport. They do Ducati, I mean, the list of motorsports that Brembo supply is ridiculous.
Yes, I want to see. They're actually, they do GP2 and F2 and F3.
Yeah.
Exclusive supplier for Moto E, which is electric motorbikes. The majority of MotoGP teams, they were IndyCar up until 2016. They were Formula E, all Formula E, for Gen 2, which was a few years ago, I think.
Yeah, but, I mean, this is what we've been saying about how Schumacher did it and what Hamilton needs to do, and what, to be blunt, Alonso and Vettel failed to do.
Yeah.
And I think when Hamilton went into Ferrari, and I know a lot of people criticise him and go, oh, we should just sit behind the car and keep quiet. But I think his presence, I mean, to be blunt, his Instagram followers, his global... I mean, the number of tracks you go to around the world where there are 44 flags, and,
yeah.
You know, people love him in America, they love him in Brazil, they love him obviously in Britain. You know, he is... I think he's got enough influence to actually make Ferrari change.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what Schumacher did.
Yeah.
And I think Fred Vasseur said, maybe a few races ago, that he's moved heaven and earth for Hamilton. And yeah. I think now people are saying that was the Brembo thing.
Yeah, and I think as well, I read that Hamilton was criticised last year for sending out technical briefs to the whole team.
Yeah.
And again, people were like, no, your job is sitting in the car, pressing pedals, turning the steering wheel. Your job is not to tell the team how to build the car.
Which, again, is rubbish. Because
it is.
there's, Rush.
Yeah.
There's the film with about Niki Lauda versus James Hunt.
Yeah.
There's a scene in it where, and I think it happened in real life, he test drives a Ferrari. And he gets out and he goes, well, it's terrible. The weight distribution is all over the place and the power's rubbish. And one of the engineers there says, you can't say that about Ferrari. It's a Ferrari.
Yeah.
And Lauda says, I don't care if it's a Ferrari. It's terrible. And that's kind of the mentality that you need to have with them, is to kind of...
Yeah. And I think all the great drivers, you get drivers who've been supernaturally quick.
Yeah.
But there's actually a kind of whole profile you need for a driver. You need to make solid business decisions, looking at Button and Alonso.
Yeah.
You need to be able to, at least in some way, talk to the engineers.
Yeah.
So you need to come in and say, oh, I attack on the corner and I get oversteer and then I flick into understeer. You need to be able to talk to the engineers in a sensible way and get them to listen and give them feedback they can work with.
Yes.
There's a whole... You need to be able to develop tyres, you need to be able to manage tyres. There's a whole range of things, not just uncannily quick.
It's actually interesting. Back in 2018, there was a Williams driver called Sergei Sorokin.
Yeah.
Who was not that quick. I don't think he was even quicker than Stroll. But Williams at that point were really kind of at the back of the grid. And he had a master's degree in mechanical engineering.
Yeah.
And I actually think that's kind of why they got him on board. It's because he could come in, he would like, that was a bad lap, but here's exactly why.
Yeah.
It's kind of the opposite of like a super fast driver who doesn't know anything.
Was he the one who got done for all the weird social media stuff?
That was Mazepin, who had basically no upsides.
He had lots of money.
Yeah, that's a good point actually. That's one big upside.
Before we get into like possible litigation,
yes.
I mean, as we said about Russell's bad weekend, Antonelli put it on pole, like literally after the flag. Russell qualified 6th.
Yeah, 4/10 off, give or take.
Which around Monaco, it's actually an exception to the rules in so many ways. It's too short to be a Formula 1 race.
It is, yeah.
The track's too short, there aren't enough laps, because I think if they ran a full distance F1 race, it would go outside the 2-hour limit.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, around the shortest track on the calendar with the tightest corner and the slowest corners,
yeah,
he was 0.4 off the pace.
Yeah.
Which kind of, it's damning really, isn't it?
It is a bit, because in Canada at least you could say he was up there.
Oh, he was literally wheel to wheel with Antonelli.
But the problem is that Canada is historically Russell's best track. And he didn't actually beat Antonelli, he was level with him.
Mm.
Whereas Antonelli was actually at Russell's level on Russell's best track. And then on Russell's kind of he's never been that good at Monaco, Russell. But Antonelli actually got a Grand Slam, I think.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. So qualifying, let's rattle through it. Antonelli pole.
Verstappen, again, it's a driver's track.
Yeah.
So even if his car's a bit weedy on power and not very balanced, he's Max Verstappen.
Yeah.
Same for Hamilton, actually.
Second row lockout for Ferrari.
Yeah, kind of where you expect them almost, actually.
What's where they are now, they're definitely developing fast.
Yeah. Hadjar in 5th is actually very good.
And it's like we said, pretty much every race, it's what Red Bull need from a second driver.
Yeah, it was actually closer to Max, I think, than Russell was to Antonelli. It has to be.
Because
inside.
2nd and 5th and 1st to 6th.
Wow.
Yeah. Piastri having the beating of Norris in 7th and 8th.
Weird. McLaren seem to be in this weird place where they're kind of just like the 3rd or 4th fastest team. Sometimes. I mean, sometimes they come 2nd, sometimes they're just nowhere.
And they've got huge reliability.
Well, yeah, obviously, because Norris has only finished like 3 races this year.
But yeah, I mean, it is very weird.
Oh, that's actually true. He has only finished 3 races.
It's a bit of a spoiler alert, but if you look at the standings,
Yeah.
the last year's world champion is 6th.
Yeah.
And the back-to-back constructors champions for the last 2 years are 3rd with half the points of the leaders.
The first, second, and third in the championship last year are currently 5th, 6th, and 7th.
Was George Russell up there?
No?
Oh no, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong chart.
Last year it was Norris, Verstappen, Piastri. Piastri, Norris, Verstappen is 5th, 6th, and 7th this year.
Yeah, no, I was looking at the
race.
at the qualifying.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was looking at the standings.
Yeah, and Gasly and Lawson, Alpine and Racing Bulls filling out the top 10.
Yeah, good for Gasly. He has pretty consistently been best of the rest, I think.
He really is coming into his own.
Yeah. And then, shall we talk about the race?
Yeah, I really messed that up.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I thought, for some reason, I don't know why, because I got back in time for the 2 o'clock. No, see, I'm doing it again. 3 o'clock qualifying.
Yeah.
2 o'clock race.
Yeah, you
and I sat down at like 2:20 to 3 to watch the race, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah, you texted me at 2:30 saying, I thought it started at 3, what happened?
All I really missed was that I actually saw it on highlights.
Yeah.
It wasn't quite Max stalled on the grid. He didn't get moving. People somehow got around him, which, it could have been horrific at Monaco.
Yeah, and that's a stopped car on the grid is one of the classic kind of mega crash recipes, isn't it?
Yeah, danger points. And he kind of limped his way around to the pits somehow.
Yeah, I was half expecting there to throw yellow flags, and there'd be like a picture of Max stationary on the grid waving his hands, but he got back round to the pits and just retired it.
Yeah, or there to be like 2 or 3 formation laps to kind of cover them pushing it back into the gaps on the start-finish straight.
Yeah.
So that was pretty much, looking at it, all I finished. Somehow completely...
He gets off the grid. Oh, he's got little warning lights flashing on his car. I think something failed.
They've got hazard flashes now, haven't they?
He literally put his hazards on like he'd broken down on the motorway. Which is fair, actually. It achieves the same purpose, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But also a bit disappointing because we didn't get to see Max versus Antonelli.
A Verstappen Hamilton Antonelli battle at Monaco.
Well, to be fair, it's Monaco, so the battle would have been, the gap's down to 0.3 seconds, have a little look into the chicane out the tunnel, back off to recharge the battery.
And cool the tyres down.
And that would have been it.
Well, you say that, but the amount of pressure that you can put on around Monaco and the amount you can try and force your opponent into a mistake.
Yeah, and there were some safety car shenanigans later on.
Yeah, the opening stints...
the bit you missed was actually quite boring, to be fair.
Yeah. Bottas pulled out with a technical problem.
Yeah.
Which I don't think they even showed on TV, did they?
I think they did. But it was just a picture of him coming into the pits, and that was it, really. Nothing terribly exciting.
I can't remember even what happened to Behrman. Was it more of the same?
I think he may have even pitted really early on. Yeah, he pitted on lap 1 for some reason. Maybe to try and fix some issue, and they couldn't, I think. I can find the report to see what it says about Behrman.
Yeah, it was kind of... But while you're doing that, one thing that really stood out on the race was the number of pit lane speeding fines.
Or penalties, yeah.
Penalties, sorry, yeah. And it's very... I've actually seen a technical explanation of it, which is why I think... at least half a dozen cars got penalties for speeding in the pit lane.
Yeah.
5 of them were at 60.1 kilometres an hour.
Yeah.
Which is I think it's less than 0.2% over the speed limit.
Yeah.
Now, the reason for this was, bizarrely, because Cadillac joined the grid this year.
Yes.
They've now got 11 teams in an already very cramped pit lane.
Yeah.
And bizarrely, the FIA have a series of timing beams down the pit lane.
Mm.
And what they do, I mean, this is way more basic physics than you've done, I know. They do, like, distance over time is speed.
Yeah.
So they count how long it takes them, and if your time between 2 points goes below a level,
Yeah.
then they count it as speeding in the pit lane. Now, what I've actually looked it up on the FIA Formula One Sporting Regulations 2025.
Wow.
If you look at Article 34.7, which I'm sure you know off the back of your
Of course, yeah.
it states a pit lane speed limit of 80 kilometres an hour unless amended by the race director. And unsurprisingly, given that Monaco is a ridiculous track, and the pit lane was probably designed in 1951 on the back of an envelope.
Yeah.
The race director every year says no, it's 60.
Yeah.
But the important thing is, in the regulations, it says a kilometres an hour.
Yes.
It doesn't say a time.
No.
Now, Gasly was ultimately denied a podium by the fact that he had 10 seconds added to his time. And pretty early on in the race, like probably lap 10 or 15, after the first round of pit stops, they realised that something was up.
Yeah, because everybody was getting penalties. So Hamilton got one, I think.
Yeah, Hamilton got one, Russell got one. I mean, there's a huge list.
Yeah, a lot of people got them.
So Gasly actually said afterwards, I was warned. I pressed the pit lane speed limiter way earlier than I normally would have done because I knew that something was going wrong.
Yeah.
And what the drivers were doing, because the arrangement of the cars in the pit lane had changed, is because they're racing drivers, they found a completely legal way to cut the corners because it's a bit of a twisty pit lane.
Yeah, they were sort of getting their car, the left hand, through the corner, like off the track kind of thing.
Well, like the way they do with any corner in any track. They straight line it. They find a way, if it's a right-hand corner, they go left and go straight across it.
Yeah.
But my argument is the actual regulations state a kilometres per hour. That's what they actually state. So if Gasly can say, look, here's the onboard, you can see the line ahead of me, there's my thumb pressing the pit lane speed limiter, and if they then get the engineer for his car up and say, we check the pit lane speed limiter, the car cannot go above 60 kilometres an hour,
yeah,
then I don't see how the penalty can stand.
Well, they also say, I'm just trying to see, because I've got the regulations up.
Yeah.
It says the stewards may impose any additional penalty if they suspect the driver was speeding in order to gain an advantage.
Yeah.
But they were 0.1 kilometres an hour over.
Yeah.
So my question is, what's the actual accuracy and precision of the timing beam? Is that within the I forget what it's called, the sort of calibration limit?
Yeah.
The natural error of the
experimental error, yeah.
Yeah, experimental error of the timing beams.
Yeah. I mean, there's no way that if you're doing 60.1 kilometres an hour down the pit lane instead of 60,
yeah,
that you're gaining a material advantage over the cars around you.
Yeah.
I've just looked it up. The pit lane is 313 metres long.
Yes. I
can't even work it out, but that's a third of a kilometre. 60 kilometres an hour, actually, you'll be doing 1 kilometre per minute. So if you're doing, say, a drive-through penalty, it would take you about 20 seconds to go down it.
Yeah.
So you're right, you are getting into real experimental error then. I mean, it's Formula One, they probably are that accurate, but
we don't kind of know for sure.
Yeah.
And you're right, the actual regulations don't mention how it's... the sporting regulations don't mention how it's measured.
No.
I don't know if it's said in the technical regulation, but I guess that's for the actual... I guess the technical regulations are for building the cars, not for anything else.
Oh yeah, they are. I had a look at them first, but they're all about, like, the aero and stuff like that, they are really even more dull than the sporting regulation. But yeah, that's why I think that right of appeal, right of review, could have a really good chance, because,
it is a flawed system.
Yeah, he wasn't speeding. He can prove that his car never went above 60 kilometres per hour.
And there is nothing in the regulations weirdly about the track limits of the pit lane.
No, there's rules about the fast lane and the slow lane, but
it doesn't say you can't do what he did, basically.
Or what every driver did.
Yeah. So, yeah, Gasly crossed the line in third, is what they say.
Yeah.
Got, I think, 2 5-second penalties, so a 10-second drop down to 7th.
Yeah. Which
was a bit sad for him.
Yeah. Back to the kind of blow-by-blow of the race.
Yeah.
Yeah, Verstappen had anti-stall cut in, and then he just retired. Lando Norris had power unit issues in his McLaren.
Yeah, we were saying the commentary during that was a bit weird.
Yeah.
Because on the world feed, they showed, I think it was Hadjar, or was it I think he was trying to get past Hadjar. No, I'm trying to remember which way round it was.
Gasly overtook him, definitely.
But basically it showed Norris going slowly in the tunnel and cars overtaking. But they were just sort of going on about something else and not paying attention to what was happening on the screen, which seemed a bit weird.
Yeah, I said that to Ellie at the time. I was just like, how are they not seeing... I mean, we were kind of talking about stuff, and then 15, 20 seconds later they would talk about it. Bottas was brake problems.
Yeah.
Which, again, it's Monaco. Brake problems are a big
theme of the weekend.
Yeah. But really, until the pit stops, it was fairly non-eventful, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I think it kind of all kicked off when Stroll crashed into the wall.
Yeah, I mean, we had a round of pit stops and a load of people. There is an article somewhere on the Formula One website of how many people picked up pit lane speeding fines. There were 6 of them, definitely. But yeah, it was. Yeah, Stroll put it into the wall on the final corner. Anthony Noge, who I think was the guy who started the whole Monaco Grand Prix in 1929.
Yeah.
But on Anthony Noge's corner, Stroll basically went straight ahead, coming onto the pit straight, except that he never actually did get onto the pit straight. He just broke his front left suspension.
Yeah, and there was a safety car.
Yeah.
I think that's when a lot of people pitted.
Yeah.
Including both Ferraris double stacked, I think.
Yeah, and actually Bernie Collins, who's the strategy woman who's moved over to commentary.
Yeah.
Before that happened, she said, they should swap Lewis and Charles around so that if they have to double stack under a safety car, Charles can come in and go out, and then they'll hold Lewis for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And they didn't, but then when it actually happened, literally 2 laps after she said that, they just brought Lewis in, held him for 5 seconds, changed his tyres. Charles came in behind him, and they came out in the same place because they were 40 seconds ahead of the 4th place driver.
Which at that point I think was either Gasly or Hadjar.
I think it was probably Gasly, actually.
Yeah, because Gasly, I think, actually got past Norris on the start, and he was Norris was harassing him all race until he retired.
Yeah.
So Gasly was probably looking, with Verstappen's retirement, probably looking at 3rd or 4th anyway. Although I think Russell was getting in there as well.
Yeah.
I don't remember the details. It got quite hectic towards the end.
Yeah. George Russell made a weird... I think what happened with George Russell, he was carrying a 5-second penalty due to his first pit stop and speeding in the pit lane.
Yeah.
I think he dived into the pits following Antonelli expecting a double stack.
Yeah.
From what I understand the pit crews weren't expecting a double stack.
Well, the team told him to stay out, I think.
Yeah. Which, hats off to the pit crew at Mercedes. The fact they actually got there with tyres and wheel guns ready is quite a miracle.
Yeah.
But if I actually watched it, and some of the guys, front right wheel guy, definitely.
He hesitates, doesn't he?
He hesitated because he knew there was a 5-second penalty. But then again, Bernie Collins said, once one person has touched the car,
You might
there's
as
no
well,
point
yeah.
waiting. I mean, we have seen a few years ago somebody had a 5-second penalty, and literally one person put their hand on the car to steady it or something,
Yeah.
and that blew the 5-second penalty.
Yeah. Actually, do you know what it is?
What?
I've just remembered. Because of where Stroll's car was, everybody had to drive through the pit lane.
Yeah, that was it. They had to take people through the pit lane because that goes around the scene of the accident.
So Mercedes said to Russell, stay out. He has to come into the pit lane. But I think he thinks... I don't know if he gets confused or he just decides to pit
Yeah.
at that moment. But because he's in the pit lane, I guess he just went in and then he didn't serve the penalty. So he got a drive-through penalty
Yeah, I think
for
so.
failing to serve, which is fair enough because that's what happened.
Yeah. Oh, it was also Colapinto and Piastri picked up speeding pit lanes as well as Hamilton and Russell, and we probably still missed a couple. Gasly.
Or Gasly, yeah. It was quite ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, did Perez?
Perez had all sorts. He wasn't properly in his pit box at the start and had to serve a penalty for that. And then the safety car came in, they restarted, and again, hats off to Antonelli, a 19-year-old at the lead in Monaco. He controlled the restart beautifully, even though he had Hamilton behind him.
Yeah.
And almost immediately, Charles Leclerc copied Lance Stroll's
Stroll,
accident. And then we had a red flag because you could see the track was breaking up. And weirdly, neither Stroll nor Leclerc blamed the breaking up track and the bits of tarmac under their tyres.
No, well, Leclerc blamed the brakes.
Yeah, which led to the whole Brembo Carbon Industries thing we covered.
And Stroll was saying that his car was just... I think the engine braking wasn't working, it was just pushing him forward.
Yeah.
Which honestly could be a deployment issue again.
I've heard other drivers saying it's weird because they kind of go to brake and then they get engine braking and then the computer decides it's got enough in the battery and switches from engine braking to traditional braking, and it's a bit lumpy more than anything.
But what I also heard was that it was Leclerc's front left brake was the only one that was working fully.
Yeah, he said that. He said no rear brakes, half front right and front left is working.
But the front left is where that broken up tarmac was.
So
even if the brakes were shonky, the one that worked, if that was on the loose, scrabbly stuff that was breaking up, that would explain it, I think.
Yeah.
But
so yeah, they red flagged it and then they kind of swept the track down, and it was lap 68, so we were all sitting there going, it's more than 3/4 of race distance and there's a track problem, maybe
they'll just call it. But we actually got a standing start.
Which,
quite nice.
Again, I think they said that makes more sense, because if it had been a rolling start behind a safety car, they'd have been going full beans through that final corner. That would have been where all the action was.
Yeah. But yeah, standing start. Don't think anything else major happened at that point.
You know what impressed me more than anything?
Yeah.
Is Kimi Antonelli. Because I think they had a formation lap, and I think we were down to like 8 or 9 laps from the end.
Yeah.
And he won by 6 or 7 seconds.
Yeah.
Against Hamilton.
Yeah, 6.2 seconds.
At Monaco.
Yeah.
And you kind of think about that, and you kind of think...
He was the fastest by a long way. His fastest lap was a 13.4.
That's qualifying times.
Hamilton's fastest lap was a 14.6.
Yeah.
And that was the second fastest lap, which is actually 1.2 seconds faster.
Now, Ellie, my wife, your mum, said she thought in that final stint there was something wrong with Hamilton's car. I actually think Hamilton probably had a go for a lap or to see if he could match Antonelli.
Yeah.
Realised how much faster he was, realised how far ahead of Gasly he was in pace,
Yeah.
and probably made that, I'm 41, I know this track like the back of my hand. I've got a choice. Either I try and catch Antonelli with pretty much zero chance of passing him, and a fairly high chance of just putting it in the wall,
Yeah.
or I just keep Gasly at bay, roll
Take
into
home second. Yeah, because second is still pretty amazing for Ferrari at this point.
And also, to be blunt, it's the best that he could achieve.
Yeah, if he didn't get past Antonelli at the start, he was never going to do it realistically.
Not with like 7 or 8 laps to go.
I think I saw that the last time there had been an overtake at Monaco for the lead that wasn't like any exceptional circumstances,
Yeah.
I think it was actually in the 1980s.
Yeah.
So it was realistically never going to happen.
Oh, right. I'm just reading the penalties page.
Oh, that must be fun.
Sergio Perez,
Yeah.
Gabby Bortoletto, at a very late point, had to start from the pit lane. He was in 16th. Perez was in 18th. But when he pulled up, he rolled forward into the slot for 16th because he just actually forgot what he was doing.
Yeah.
And because it was so late that Bortoletto went into the pits, he should have parked up in 18 with an empty box.
Yeah.
So he got he got one penalty for that, but then he was also in the restart on lap probably 70-ish. He had his front right wheel out of the box, so he got another 10-second penalty for that.
Yeah.
That's actually heartbreaking because he was in P10.
Yeah, he crossed the line in 10th, which would have been Cadillac's first point ever.
After race 6.
Yeah.
Which, okay, there were retirements, there were accidents, but
again, retirements, the sort of point is that he didn't retire. The Cadillac built a car that lasted.
Yeah, you've actually got to get to the end.
Yeah.
And the problem is as well, because there was a red flag on lap 68.
It bunched everybody up.
Yeah, everybody got concertinaed back together. Again, that's
really what hurt Russell as well, because with his drive-through, he had to serve it, I think, 2 laps after the restart. And he finished in 12th.
Yeah. Which considering, 15 people finished?
Yeah. Yeah, 15 finishers. There were 7 DNFs. Because also, on the restart, I think Hulkenberg just punted Sainz.
Yeah.
Spun him round. And luckily, I think he hit him, and then I think Colapinto spun him round at the next corner.
Yeah.
And then, because he was facing the wrong way, he just drove behind the barriers, and that was it.
Yeah. We thought it was going to be another red flag.
I think at that point, they'd surely just call it,
Yeah.
I don't know if they'd bother with another restart.
But I think Hulkenberg and Sainz were just there was nowhere left to go.
Yeah, it was inevitable at Monaco again.
Apparently the hairpin at Monaco is so tight that some drivers go around it one-handed.
Yeah, Schumacher used to do that.
Because there is a left-handed hairpin.
Yeah.
So their left elbow can't go far enough down and under the wheel. So they just use their right hand and pull it up and over.
Yeah.
And they also fit custom steering racks and custom steering arms to put...
Yeah. I was going to say that so they can get more angle. Full opposite lock wouldn't have been enough to actually get round.
Yeah.
I heard that as well.
Oh, we were right, by the way.
Were we?
Red Bull, McLaren, and I'm going to say Mercedes, took the actuators off their rear wing.
Oh, yeah, they did. I saw that.
And because it's not an area covered by the regulations, they put tiny little winglets on where the actuators were.
Yeah. I did say I wondered if they'd take the motors out to save weight, and they kind of did.
But they then went next level and...
Well, yeah, we weren't thinking aerodynamically enough.
Yeah.
I'm quite kind of pleased that I spotted that in a way.
Mm.
I think I would have... That's almost like if I was working at an F1 team, I could have said to someone, why don't we just take the actuators off? And they'd have gone, yeah, actually, we might as well.
But then they went the next level and went, if that's a little box on the rear wing that's not covered by regs.
Yeah, just put some more wing on it.
Yeah.
And I think also the first race since 2013 or 2011 actually was introduced.
Yeah.
That there's been no movable aero at all on an F1 car.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Apart from wet races, but they don't count.
Well, no, because the aero was on the car. They just weren't allowed to use it.
Yeah.
Because of all the penalties after the event,
Yeah.
Alonso scored a point. It's the first points for Adrian Newey's Aston Martin.
Yeah.
Ocon got 2 points for Haas. I'm going up backwards. Oh, yeah, Williams, as we said, they did that weird trick where they swapped places. One of them backed the field up. The other one got enough to do a pit stop for free.
Well, they tried to, but then Albon accidentally got overtaken by Lindblad.
Yeah.
Or Lawson, one of them.
I think it was Lindblad. And I mean, that's just actually...
Which is
again,
honestly quite funny, I think.
What we said about you've got to survive to get points.
Yeah.
Racing Bulls, Lawson, Lindblad, 5th and 6th.
Yeah, pretty solid. I think...
Let's put 18 points in the bank for that. I mean...
Actually, more points than Red Bull scored, even though Hadjar got a podium.
Yeah.
Although actually...
Well, we don't know that yet.
I'm going to say, assuming Hadjar P3, is that the highest scoring weekend for the Red Bull family? Actually, last weekend it was 3rd, 5th, 7th and 6th. 7th and nothing for Lindblad.
Yeah, it depends where Hadjar finishes, really, and Gasly as well. But I mean, for Racing Bulls, that's a solid.
That's good, yeah. 5th, I think they said it's both of their drivers' best finish in F1 at the same time. And it means, where's RB are now actually ahead of... they're closing up on Alpine, actually, RB.
Yeah.
Maybe.
They really are. They're 2 points off.
Yeah. Unless Gasly gets his podium back, which would help a lot.
Also, what we were saying about the performance difference, bearing in mind it was basically the last bit was a 9-lap race around Monaco.
Yeah.
Because they had a new standing start.
Yeah.
Antonelli and Hamilton got a free pit stop on Hadjar. This is as they went over the line.
Hadjar had big problems, didn't he?
Yeah.
He had some issue with his power. He was like stressing the whole time on the radio.
But even so, they made up 23.4 seconds in 9 laps.
Yeah, that's over 2 seconds a lap.
And because of the nature of the track, they then bunched everybody up behind them.
Yeah, that's a big Hadjar train.
But George Russell, last time out in Canada, he did everything right, as we said at the beginning. But this time, before all the Lance Stroll safety car inspired nonsense, he got lapped by Kimi Antonelli.
Yeah.
Which must hurt.
I mean, it's got to be a psychological thing as well.
Do you want to know another really big psychological thing?
What?
George Russell has completed seven full seasons in F1 and is in his 8th.
Yeah.
Antonelli has completed 1 full season and is in his 2nd season.
Do they have the same number of race victories?
No. Russell's ahead.
By 1?
Russell's got 6 race victories and Antonelli's only got 5.
Yeah. So, one more... Well, if he wins 2 more races, he'll have overtaken Russell.
Even if he draws level on 6 wins...
It's a bit like the Piastri situation I said last year. Or 2024. If you remember, Norris won his first ever race in Miami. And it was a massive moment because he'd been in the sport for like 7 years.
Yeah.
And it was a big like weight off his shoulders, or like 5 years at that point.
Yeah.
And then Piastri, in his 2nd ever season, won the Hungarian Grand Prix just like 3 races later.
Yeah.
And I think for Norris, that must have been a bit like, well, it's not really fair, is it?
I mean, I think there's a lot of that up and down the grid. I mean, like, Russell put in his time in Williams, put in his time at Mercedes as second driver to Hamilton, although they were actually fairly...
Well, yeah.
And then Hamilton leaves and Russell gets control of the team, basically, with a young teenager that he can mentor, and all of a sudden he's losing.
Yeah, and like badly as well.
Yes.
Well,
And it's the same with Leclerc. Leclerc's been in the Ferrari family, I think, for his whole career. I'm not 100% sure how many F1 seasons he's got under his belt.
he started in 2019 for Ferrari. So this is his 7th year.
With Ferrari.
And he was a Ferrari Academy driver for, I think, at least like 2 or 3 years before then. So probably coming up on a decade as a Ferrari affiliated
And then,
driver.
okay, it's a completely different situation because Hamilton is like 20-something years older than Antonelli.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, in his second season with Ferrari, Hamilton is, at the moment, actually kind of winning.
Well, Lewis Hamilton, as we speak here,
Mm.
is second in the World Championship.
Yeah,
He's ahead of Russell.
and Leclerc.
Yeah, I mean, he's like 15 points ahead of Leclerc now.
Yeah,
Russell's 2 points behind him. Russell, in the last 2 races, has scored nothing, while Antonelli has racked up another 50 points on him.
yeah,
So he's 68 points behind Antonelli now.
yeah. I mean, the whole dynamic of it, well, I think we spoke about this privately, but I think they're now saying that no driver has ever won 5 races in a row in a season
Yeah.
and then failed to win the world title that season.
There are very few drivers who've ever won 5 races in a row, though.
Oh, yeah.
I
And
think,
records are made to be broken, so, you know.
off the top of my head, I know Hamilton's only won 5 races in a row. That's that's the most he's ever done,
We've obviously got Verstappen in 23.
with like 10. Schumacher definitely was on like... I think Schumacher and Vettel were equal on 9 each.
In a row.
Yeah, and that's why when Verstappen did 10, it was a big moment.
And there's 1988 as well, isn't there?
But I think they were kind of swapping them.
Yeah, that was dominant by... Oh, was it McLaren or Williams?
McLaren. I'm just going to look it up instead of trying to remember.
Yeah.
There'll be a thing.
But also at the beginning of the regulations, and people are improving, and Ferrari burst the bubble in 2023 with Carlos Sainz.
Yes.
So, and the fact that Ferrari are still improving, it might be another Mercedes dominate all season.
Okay.
And I think you'd be very, very foolish if you went, oh yeah, Russell's out of it now, he's lost. I think Russell has the age and the maturity, and he's at kind of, as we said before, he's at peak Formula 1 age now, isn't he? He's in his 8th season, as we just said.
Yeah.
You know, he's got the age, he's got the maturity, he is bang on 28.
He's bedded into the team.
You know, if you were Antonelli's camp and you said, oh yeah, we've beaten him, it's fine, we're great.
Well, you'd never say that this early on, regardless. No. Even if he was like 100 points ahead, literally anything can happen.
Yeah. And it's the new season, new regs, new cars.
Yeah.
You know, Ferrari could develop... If McLaren get on top of their reliability problems, they could be a threat. Verstappen is always there or thereabouts.
Yeah. I found an up-to-date graphic.
Yeah.
Most consecutive race wins of all time.
Yeah.
10 Verstappen. Verstappen and Vettel are on 9.
Yeah.
Ascari, Schumacher, Rosberg have 7. Schumacher has 6. And then Brabham, Clark, Mansell, Schumacher, Verstappen have 5.
And Antonelli.
Hamilton has 5 twice, and Antonelli.
Yeah.
That is all world champions.
Apart from Antonelli.
Well, so far.
I mean, it does...
It's kind of inconceivable to think he'll never win a championship, even if he doesn't get it this year.
No, I mean, people who actually know and actually, you know, are in teams making decisions, not just Toto Wolff, who's pinned his colours to that particular mast,
Yeah.
are saying he's a generational talent.
Yeah.
You know, he is...
He's one. Yeah.
I think it's fair to say he is a kind of Hamilton, Verstappen, Schumacher, Senna level.
Well, he certainly seems to be. But we were kind of saying that about Piastri a year or two ago. And people have been saying that about Leclerc as well.
Yeah.
It could just be that next year Mercedes are nowhere and he's fumbling about the midfield, which is kind of what makes the Hamilton-Mercedes partnership so amazing in a way, is that they were so consistently on top for so long.
I mean, you say that, but like Piastri has 9 race wins, Leclerc has 8.
Yeah.
He's already on 5.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it is kind of amazing what he's done so far.
And I mean,
I'm kind of just trying to play devil's advocate a bit and not.
Oh yeah,
not trying to play into the hype too much.
Like 76 race starts and has got 9 wins out of it, which is really good. I don't know how many starts Russell's got, but it's probably a lot. Yeah, 158. More.
Yeah, but Russell was, again, he had like 100 starts before he even got a point. Like, imagine if Russell in his first season had joined Mercedes in place of Bottas or Rosberg.
Yeah.
Which also I think is a bit of a psychological thing for Russell, because Russell was kind of told, you're not ready for the big team, we need to put you in Williams first.
Yeah.
And then he just promoted Antonelli straight to Mercedes out of nowhere.
I mean, it's kind of both ways round, because they only do that with people like Hamilton and Verstappen.
Yeah.
You know, they're the last 2 people who just went straight to a top team.
Well, no, Verstappen had a year in Toro Rosso.
Year and a half, and he got promoted mid-season because of his Toro Rosso results.
Well, because Kvyat kept crashing into people.
Mm.
The thing about Verstappen is that he won his first ever race with Red Bull.
Yeah.
But also the thing about Verstappen is he got signed to Toro Rosso straight from F3. He never did a single race of Formula 2 or GP2 as it was back then.
Yeah.
And I think Antonelli, they were talking about signing him while he was in F3. And they made him do a season of F2 and then they had him.
Yeah. Because he would have been like 17 at that point.
I think I remember hearing about him when he was like 16 or like 15, I think.
Yeah.
And it was like, this is Toto Wolff's new protege, and everyone's saying he's really good.
Yeah, he's had 30 race starts and 5 wins.
That might even be up there, actually, in the statistics of like race win percentages, because isn't that like, what is that, 1/6 of all his race wins?
Yeah, that is getting ridiculous.
That's like 15% or something. And if he keeps winning, that number will keep going up.
Yeah. I'm just doing some maths here as well.
It's 16%.
He's already at this stage on 10.2 points per race.
Oh.
This is a great podcast. We'll say and go quiet a bit.
Okay, I found percentage wins.
Yeah.
He's not in the top 10.
Oh, okay.
Because number 10 is Sterling Moss, who had 25% win percentage.
Fangio?
Fangio's number 1, 47.
Yeah.
That's actually unthinkable nowadays.
That means winning... 47 means winning 11 or 12 races every season now.
Well, he won 24 races from 51 starts.
Yeah.
And then Ascari and then Jim Clark was up there as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, not to get too much into the weeds with that.
So who's there in the kind of modern 20 plus races per season era is the question.
There are 3 names that jump out.
Yeah.
Schumacher, Verstappen and Hamilton.
Uh-huh.
So Schumacher's on 29.74.
Yeah.
Verstappen's on 29.71 and Hamilton's on 27.2.
And what's Antonelli on?
16.
16. Oh, okay.
So he's got a way to go before he's one of the top 10 drivers of all time.
But, yeah.
So he's rubbish, basically.
Yeah. I mean, I think, before we, just wrap it up, I think the thing about Antonelli that impresses is that a lot of young drivers, not to be unkind, but like Piastri, would have crumbled by this point.
Well, he kind of did, didn't he?
Yeah.
Let me get my spreadsheet back. Last year... So this is race 6.
Yeah.
Actually, this time last year, Piastri had won 4 of the first 6 races.
Yeah.
It took him until race 9. Actually, looking at Piastri's championship, it wasn't until race 17 that he really fell off.
Yeah.
Because he had this big string of podiums. What's that? 14 podiums in 15 races from race 2 to race 16.
Okay,
which
I'm
is,
going to count now. 1, 2, 3.
That's a proper championship charge. The problem is that Norris was always there on the podium with him, and right now Russell isn't really giving that performance.
So really, what we're looking at is that critical period in September to October around Azerbaijan through to Kota.
Yeah.
Azerbaijan, Singapore, United States Grand Prix, that will be the crunch, I think.
Because that starts to get into the mathematically impossible region.
Yeah, and that's about where Piastri kind of tailed off. And even then, Piastri was third, and he was like less than a race win off.
That was a proper championship last year. That was good stuff.
Yeah.
But I think it really depends on if Russell can get his act together.
Yeah.
And if Antonelli shows any weakness, literally whatsoever.
Yeah.
Historically, he's not been that good at Europe. But we've already had Monaco.
He's just monstered Monaco. And I mean, I'm looking at what he's done so far. Second in Australia.
Yeah.
But then, like, Japan is a really fast swooping track, a bit like Barcelona.
Yeah. China's big power circuit. Miami's a twisty street circuit. Canada's kind of a hybrid street circuit power track. And Monaco's the ultimate driver test high downforce track.
And he's won all of them.
He's actually just won all of them, and not... I mean, he's got lucky once or twice, but so he didn't get lucky at Monaco. He was just better.
He was just blatantly faster than Hamilton and Verstappen at Monaco.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, okay, here's a question for you.
Maybe he's quite good then, yeah.
In Canada,
Yeah.
if George Russell's car had been perfect,
Yeah.
who would have won?
I think they would have crashed.
Toto Wolff said he was within 2 laps of calling it off.
But I think... I genuinely have no idea is the problem.
Which, again, is a very telling thing. I actually had a feeling that in the car, Russell was getting a bit flustered by the incredible aggression from...
Yeah. I know you said Russell has the maturity, but I kind of get the impression he can actually let himself be ruled by his emotions a bit too much.
Yeah.
Because in the car, he can get quite petty, almost.
He is a very good one for saying, actually, that was more than 10 car lengths.
I mean, they all do that a bit, but I think Russell lets it carry on a bit outside the car.
Yeah.
And like when he chucked the hands device properly across the track and everything.
Yeah.
I think that was letting himself get a bit pent up.
But I think a lot of them do that. Hadjar is very famous for crashing and then just hammering the steering wheel or hitting the car.
Yeah, actually, Hadjar is the anti-Raikkonen.
Yeah.
Because he spends the entire race swearing at the team and stressing and like complaining about everything. And then when it's finished, he's like, oh man, that was stressful.
Yeah.
As opposed to like Raikkonen, who's like, yeah, whatever, I don't care, leave me alone.
Yeah. So,
anyway.
I mean, I think it's impossible to imagine that Antonelli will just keep winning races.
Yeah.
I mean, it does have to all hook up at some point for Russell. If the Mercedes
if nothing else, let's go through. So, Piastri's had 2 DNSs, one of which was mechanical. Norris has now had 3 mechanical failures. Russell's had 1. Who are the other Mercedes-powered teams?
Oh, I'm not sure. Audi?
Audi have their own powertrain.
Oh, yeah, they do now, don't they?
Gasly, I think...
Alpine, yeah.
Colapinto's finished every race so far.
Oh.
Well, but I think the top teams with the Mercedes engines, the reliability looks like an issue.
You know what will be an issue again when we come down to that crunch point mathematical end of the season?
Oh, what, using up engine parts, you think?
Yeah.
And there's the development opportunity thing as well.
The development tokens that they get given, yeah. But I think when we come into the last 6, 7, 8 races of the season, I think we're going to start seeing grid place drops. I think we're going to start seeing weird races where Mercedes just take a 30 place drop and build a new car.
Yeah.
Because the number of DNFs and DNSs that have happened to them and McLaren,
it's a bit worrying.
It's going to pay off later down because...
Yeah.
And maybe for Red Bull as well. They haven't been great.
Well, no, I mean, Verstappen literally failed to start.
Yeah. I mean, technically he moved off under red lights, so...
Yeah, but
I think
still...
he failed to finish, but yeah.
He failed to finish, but that's because his engine just broke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Barcelona's a power circuit, isn't it?
I think it's fairly balanced. I think it's more of a power circuit now because they got rid of the chicane at the final corner a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's like... That can't be a straight mode zone there. That's a corner. I think it's like 4 straight zones. So it does look quite power.
Yeah, and it's where they test... Well, they used to test.
Yeah, it used to be where they tested. And so it was always a bit of a boring race, but now they test at Bahrain.
Yeah.
Which actually we didn't get to race at this year, so it's all sort of...
It's all upside down, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I'll have to see.
I think it's going to be another challenge, and I think... And weirdly, for this season, I think it's going to be if McLaren get their car working, if Red Bull get their car working, if Mercedes get their car working. I'm not expecting Ferrari to be challenging. If everybody else gets their car together, I don't think Ferrari will be challenging for podiums. But
oh well, I don't know, because they're sort of 3rd and 4th and 5th in terms of pure pace.
Yeah.
But then they have that fast starting.
Yeah.
And I've said that Leclerc understands the deployment very well, I think, and I think he still does.
I think the other thing is going to be that if Leclerc changes brakes, he was racing on Sunday and they've got free practice on Friday.
Yeah. Is there going to be enough time? Well, they need to probably come to a legal agreement as well.
I don't think they will, because Hamilton's been running them since Japan, so...
But are Brembo going to kick up a fuss about PR and start like threatening to sue because Leclerc's effectively gone public and like trashed their brakes?
Oh yeah, I mean they've said we are very surprised.
Yeah, although that's almost a bit of a Streisand effect, because I'm sure before they released that statement, 50% of the people interested had never heard of Brembo.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to say because we're real Formula One geeks, so.
Yeah, but most. People like Mum watching it would have gone, oh, Leclerc's not happy with his brakes. That's weird.
Yeah. I'm not 100%. I think Brembo were right to kick off about it because...
Yeah, that is...
Certainly within the industry, it's massive reputational damage. A driver like Leclerc...
Yeah, but also, he didn't name names. He didn't say the brand name.
No, but,
But it is a bit, yeah...
It's stamped onto every single...
brake caliper.
Yeah. So...
It's going to be hard for Vasseur to fix it.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're looking forward to that, I think.
Yeah. I think this is a double-header.
Mm.
So, Barcelona this weekend, as we record this.
Yeah.
Austria, 26th. And then it's a double-header with Great Britain, Austria. So we get 1 week break in between those two double-headers.
Yeah, like 5 races in 7 weeks, they keep saying. I mean, this is a real kind of...
It's a busy European season.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with like the manufacturing and the transport and everything.
Yeah, I mean, they're all around Europe.
Yeah, so it's not too bad. And they have done a pretty good job of grouping.
Yeah.
Because we had Australia, China, Japan. That's all kind of the eastern half of the world. Not that that makes much sense, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. And
then a break, Miami, Canada. That actually kind of makes sense. Because it used to be like Miami, Monaco, Canada.
Yeah, we've been saying this for a couple of years, that very slowly, like turning a super tank around, they've been changing the schedule. And we've now got a run of 5, 6, 7, 8.
9.
Yeah, we're both counting. They've now got a run of 9 European races.
Which is actually longer than an F1 season would have been back in the day.
And it's longer than the mandatory F1 season.
But they got two Spanish races.
Yeah.
And then it's Baku, Singapore, back over to the Americas.
Yeah.
And then back over to the Middle East, potentially.
Yeah. Okay then. I think we've
talked for very long. It's been quite a long
Well, there's been a lot happening at Monaco, and also I think we kind of covered everything we need to cover.
Yeah. That's a lot of stuff that we didn't need to cover.
Yeah. So we'll be back after Barcelona.
Yep.
I'm not convinced Antonelli can keep this one up, but...
Well, we'll have to see.
Yeah.
Will be interesting.
Oh, isn't Barcelona where Hamilton Rosberg actually collided and wiped each other out?
Apparently they had to pay, I think, something like €500,000 each to the team for doing that, because they'd been warned not to.
Also, I know Toto Wolff is very keen on gathering all 300 people on the team together and then getting Hamilton and Rosberg up there to say, sorry we broke your car.
I think they literally did do that.
Oh yeah, I'm not joking.
But that was such a kind of cinematic season in a way because of that rivalry.
Yeah.
But anyway,
this has been the Father and Son Formula One podcast.
Yep.
I'm Graham Miller. Also, if you search up Graham H. Miller, you'll see I write murder mystery novels.
Mm-hmm.
Toby is also official Tibby, who does gaming videos, and actually that's going really well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Have a look at him on YouTube, and we'll talk to you after Barcelona. Is that better Spanish pronunciation?
No.
Oh.
Not quite. I think it's more like a th sound.
Go on then.
More like Barcelona.
There we go. That's when we'll be back. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.
Bye.